Hi, and welcome to On Set, the Bahamas edition. I am your host, Zach Viscomi, and today I'm joined with a very dear friend, Dr. Fred Rouse, the Real Money Doctor. How you doing today, Fred?
Nice to be here.
Yeah, great to see you. So I know a whole lot about your story. We've been working together for quite some time now, and really I'm just interested to find out a little bit more about you and what you do. But before we get started in talking about the programs that you offer and the benefit that it has for people, can you tell me a little bit more about how you got into this and where your start came from?
Way back when I did my little stint in the Coast Guard, it was novel. I spent 5 years there, came out, went into respiratory therapy, and that was good. Spent a lot of time there, but needed more money. And I got into financial services, and that looked interesting, but then lo and behold, the clients ended up knowing more than I did, so I decided I'd get the CFP designation. So I went and got Certified Financial Planner designation. And then I happened on to commodity trading by accident. And it was a real novel experience because I'd never seen anything like that before. And I was able to basically take a $5,000 account and in just 2 years, work it up to $2 million. I said, hey, I'm really good at this now. $5,000 to $2 million in just 2 years. I should be able to double that now with no problems at all. Well, what a surprise. 6 months, lost it all.
Oh.
Lost $2 million in 6 months. And I don't care what anybody says. Okay, the sun's up, this is a great place. You don't feel good when you lost $2 million. Me and depression were real good friends for quite a while. And it took me another 10 years basically to figure out what happened. I did something right to make all that money. And what the hell did I do wrong to screw it up and lose it all in 6 months?
So you're talking about being a certified financial planner, which is really working with people and helping them manage their retirement money, right? And how they're investing it and different things like that. And so you were doing that for quite some time, but then obviously, as you said, you got into commodities trading. Me being a little bit more familiar with what that is, but how does somebody get into commodities trading? And we always hear about how volatile the market is. And so how did you learn the process of how to do something like this and consistently be successful at it?
It was definitely a problem. And again, 10 years worth of research, because after I lost all that money, something was there. I made all that money, which is really interesting. So how do you make that money and not lose it? Because if I did lose it, I'd be a happy camper. Well, again, it took me 10 years, $350,000 of my money, and I went and I bought everything I could find on commodity trading, everything. But the testing, the research, the retesting, and I came up with short window retirement planning. And it's a novel thing because I can't make somebody a trader, but I can make an expert in just two commodities. And we just focus on two. I don't care what goes on in the world. I've had this program up and running since 2008 to today. I've managed to get triple-digit returns every year. I don't care what happens in the market, who's in office, what's going on in the world, triple-digit returns in less than 20 minutes a day. So I show this to clients because, again, I spent close to 40 years in financial services, 28 of those as a certified financial planner, and I haven't seen anything that comes remotely close to the returns that this program can get. And if somebody is looking to retire at some point in their life, okay, what are they going to do? They don't have the money. And they go through life, maybe they're 20 or 30, and some financial planner get hold of them, oh yeah, we should do these things. And they start investing in the stock market, technically, 401ks, IRAs, that type of stuff. And then life happens, and they get married, they get a house, they get a car, things happen along the way, get diverted, and the money doesn't match up. By the time they're age 50, they've had a dozen jobs already, and the money hasn't been able to catch up with them at all. So by the time they're 50, now I'm at the halfway point, now what do I do? And this is where short window retirement planning comes in, because I can get somebody with basically no background at all, okay, and do this. I designed this program so my son, 15 at the time, could do this program. It's that simple.
That's really remarkable, and I think what a lot of people don't understand when we talk about this kind of stuff is the fact that, first of all, understanding the markets and how to read the charts and the candlesticks and all these different kind of things sounds very intimidating, but it's not it's not that complicated once you have the framework and the structure to know how to look at those things and you back test it and do the different things that you talk about. But I find it remarkable that you have made it so easy for somebody, a 15-year-old all the way up to a 50-year-old and up, to be able to do this, whether or not they're good at math, whether or not they know the numbers game or recognize patterns or anything like that. It really is accessible to anybody, but can it really be that simple? I mean, that's probably the question that most people are asking. Is it really that simple? Because things that sound so good, too good to be true, we tend to be a little bit more skeptical. So tell me a little bit about just how simplistic it really is. You mentioned 20 minutes a night. So what exactly is going on during that time period?
I mean, I would like to show everybody how smart I am. I mean, I've got a doctorate in taxation. It's lovely. A PhD in taxation. I got a doctorate in business administration. Really, really nice things. But the program is simple. It doesn't require any of that stuff. None of that stuff. Okay? It's a really, really simple program. And I didn't want somebody to be sitting in front of a computer screen all day long. And people with no background at all, specifically with no background at all, it makes it very simple. We have a comprehensive program. It covers all the basics, but it's all background stuff. When you get down to the nuts and bolts of the actual program, you're looking at 2 charts, and there's only 2 lines on the chart. If they don't cross, you got the day off. If the 2 lines cross, I'll look at the chart, you go down trading checklist. And you go down checklist. That's simple. Every pilot, how many plane crashes are there nowadays?
Yeah, very little.
Okay. Pilot goes down a checklist. Landing checklist, pre-flight checklist. Every time. Okay. There's no plane crashes nowadays. Does he not know how to fly? Why does he need a checklist? Every time though. We go down the same checklist every time. Again, the program hasn't changed from 2008 to today. It's the same checklist. Go down the same checklist. It happens. It's very simple. And it becomes second nature. We do all the back testing, and the back testing is where you learn the skills. And if you don't make mistakes, you can't learn, okay? When you were a kid, how many times did you fall before you learned how to walk? Did your mom and dad give up? He's a stupid kid. He'll never be able to walk. But no. You walked, you joined the service. You're in the Marines. You learned how to run quite a bit. Quite a bit. And it was second nature. You have to think about it. The program is that simple. I wish I could say it was difficult, but it simply isn't.
As being somebody who's gone through the program, obviously I've known you for a while and have experienced it. I had no idea what trading was. I had no background, no understanding of it whatsoever. And I was able to learn quite a bit of not only how to read charts, but it became to the point where I was teaching other people how to do it as well. And so it really is that simple. I don't consider myself that type of a person, very analytical, attention to detail. That's not really me. And it was really easy for me to learn and just to keep applying it. And I never had to risk any money while I was learning that process, which is the great part about that. Now, we're talking about the short or the retirement process, right? We're talking about people who are looking at their retirement, wondering how they're going to be able to retire. They're looking at their accounts and their 401ks and they're saying to themselves, I can't retire on this amount of money, right? I mean, that's a big part of your target audience. But why don't you tell me a little bit more about the types of people that you've been working with who have gone through your program and have been successful?
I've got a really wide range of people, from a landscaper in Florida making $40,000 a year, digging holes and cutting grass, to middle managers, blue-collar people, doctors, chiropractors, a couple attorneys actually. In fact, a couple months ago, I had a certified wealth manager. This is somebody who manages other people's money. A certified wealth manager applied to get into the program. And again, it's by application only. So I run a small program in retirement, and I know who's there, I know who's not there. I know what the program can do, I know what it can't do. And if somebody's got some background, some investable assets, they don't need $500,000. And there are companies out there that won't talk to you unless you do. But if you've got at least $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 that you can invest, and I only want a $5,000 investment in your account that you control, then you can probably do this.
So I know just, my age and people that I've been talking with, and especially in 2020, 2021, through the pandemic and everything, there was a huge increase in interest of retail investors in the stock market. And so, we saw this meme stocks and cryptocurrency and GameStop and all these other things that popped up that people were pushing and trying to make a ton of money off of, and many people did, and I would say close to all of them now have also lost all of their money or more. And so I know that the sentiment a lot of times, especially with people in my age, is that we understand that there is an opportunity in the market for us to be able to make money, whether or not we're even looking at retirement yet, right? But there is also a fear there of the volatility. And so I know that a lot of what you discuss and who you're talking to are people who are getting into retirement or looking at retirement in the very near future and sort of fearing that. But this is also for somebody like me who's got a young family that's looking to, make some extra money and quite honestly not be tied to any job or occupation, where I could sort of have some of my own financial freedom. And so your program allows that. And I would love to hear a little bit more about why this is so important to you, right? I want to know the Dr. Fred who is you're in retirement right now. You don't have to be doing this. And like you said, it's an application process for you to work with people. Like, you only want to work with people that you want to work with right now. So one, who's the type of person that you want to work with? And why do this at all if you could just be, enjoying your time and sitting by the water at your beach house?
Like right here?
Yeah, like we are here in the Bahamas.
Or a place in Delaware. Either one is fine. This is okay. You get to a point in life after your basics are covered. And this is all the Maslow principle, basically. And you reach the top point of self-actualization. And you retire, and then what do you do in retirement? Am I supposed to sit there for 30 hours a week in a rocking chair somewhere? No, you need some purpose. Okay? I don't want to be the guy in Lowe's and Home Depot stocking shelves because he needs the money. Okay, that doesn't work. Okay, so what do? What's your purpose? My purpose is to show people how to get, protect, and enjoy their money, their life, and their retirement. And it's amazingly easy to do when you actually have a system. And people your age and older, they always look to invest in things. And the internet this is the internet age, and stuff is all over the place, tons of stuff. And they've got money managers out there who have tons of staff, tons of computers, and the best they're doing is maybe 12% a year on a good year. These are people that are educated in the field. Well, my people, okay, I'm dealing with basically middle-class folks. I mean, if you're a trust fund baby, sorry, you're not talking to me anyway. That's okay. I don't have a problem with that. Grandpop took care of your money. You're good. You're just living off of it. Okay? But for working folks, and I've got tons of working folks here, okay, they need something because they couldn't save enough. And there's so much trash out there on the internet, you don't know which way to turn. And so this is a simple thing. And they can get, and again, I work primarily with people who are 50 and older. But if somebody was in their 30s, this works out fine. I'll save them tons of years. The only reason you're working generally is because you need the money. If you didn't need the money, you wouldn't be doing that job. I wish it was more complicated, but it's very simple. And if you don't believe me, put in 40, 50 hours a week without a paycheck. Yeah. Would you do it? Hell no. Yeah. I'm here. I did all that work. I should get compensated. Well, if you can put yourself in a position where you're making all that money and then some in 20 minutes a day, look at all the aggravation you just saved yourself. All the time, now you get to enjoy your money in a lifestyle you actually want.
Yeah. Thanks for being here today. If there's anything that I've been able to glean from you over the years, is just the fact that you being a South Philadelphia guy, have always dedicated your life to working with the middle class, the blue collar, just and really anybody in between. But you've really focused on just helping people. And I think what a lot of times doesn't communicate through interviews like this and through the camera is just how genuine of a person that you are and how you are doing this because you really do care about people. And being somebody who has gone through the program, who has seen it, I just want to say to everybody that's out there, like, this really is a great opportunity, and Dr. Fred is a great person to work with. If you want to find out more about this, where could somebody go to get in contact with you, or at least to read a little bit more and to find out if it's right for them?
The easiest thing, just so they get an immediate quick background as to why it works, you just go to drralphsnow.com and watch a video there. and you watch it, it's of interest to you, that's great. Let me know from there what you think. But you go to drralphnow.com, you watch the video, you can't buy anything from the video. You can't buy the program online. It's just a very simple process, okay? You go there, watch the video, if it's of interest to you, let me know and we can chat.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for your time. Thanks for joining me here in the Bahamas of all places. Thank all of you for watching, and stay tuned for our next guest on set in the Bahamas.